Hey everyone, happy Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. In today's forecast, we're going to be mentioning more unseasonable warmth continuing across North America as we go into late October here, and we're going to be giving you an update on what the Halloween forecast looks like, as well as precipitation trends leading up to Halloween, and we're going to be taking a look at the tropics at the very end of the video and what you can expect through the rest of the tropical weather season. So if you are here, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Make sure to turn on that post notification bell so you have notifications for my videos and live streams in the future. So like the video, give it a thumbs up, of course, and also leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll certainly get to those after my video. So this map currently shows the low temperatures that we woke up to this morning. We did have some frost and freezes across the northwest United States and southwestern Canada this morning, with in contrast more warmth across the east to start off into the 40s and 50s across the east this morning, and that is a higher springboard of which to start. So the eastern U.S. naturally starting off warmer. We're going to end up warmer this afternoon with temperatures that are 10, 20, even 30 degrees above the norm for this time of year on the 23rd. So here are your afternoon highs, and yes, more record-breaking temperatures are expected down here, especially into North Texas, in and around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Waco over here towards the Amarillo area, just south of there, and then over there towards Shreveport. We could be seeing temperatures well into the 80s, if not the low 90s this afternoon. And looking at that, the culprit is just the high pressure system. Sun-splashed skies across the eastern United States. The sunshine will go to work, warm those temperatures up into record-breaking territory. But really across the United States and southern Canada, there's not much precipitation to talk about of note as we go into this afternoon or tonight, although we do have a little bit of a disturbance moving in across Idaho that could be bringing us a mix of rain and snow. Obviously, the rainfall in the lower elevations, the snowfall more expected into the higher elevations naturally as you go up in elevation. The temperatures cool off, and also some snow showers possible in scattered instances from Alaska down into Yukon and British Columbia into Canada as well. Really not looking at a footprint of precipitation over the next 12 to 24 hours here. Any that falls will be very light as we go through Thursday. Same thing on the snowfall front as well. Maybe a few inches of snow up into Alaska and western British Columbia, Yukon. But even so, very light amounts here for this time of year up there. Going over the next 2 days, this is Thursday, October 24th through Friday, October 25th. Notice how the colder air in the blue here is bottled up to the north. We got a strong polar vortex here, and with a strong polar vortex, it actually keeps a lot of that colder air further to the north. But we have the zonal flow here across portions of the southern United States, and what that's going to do is, again, bring more of that Pacific air through, but also warm us up here as well. We have a little bit more of a southern component to our winds as well as we go into Thursday. More widespread breaking temperatures that are record breaking into the 80s and 90s Thursday afternoon, and even into Friday afternoon across the southeast will continue. We'll cool down a little bit across the north Thursday into Friday, but really not cold by any stretch of the imagination. Temperatures will still be pretty mild into the 50s and 60s for the next 2 days for your afternoon highs on Thursday and your Friday. Precipitation trends going into tomorrow. This is Thursday. Some scattered showers across Wyoming into the Dakotas and western Minnesota. Otherwise, high pressure dominates across the eastern U.S. and eastern Canada, and another high pressure up here into western United States as well. Going into Friday, a disturbance moves across Ontario into Quebec that will swing a little bit of a frontal boundary down across Lake Michigan and into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, bringing us the chance for more showers, but they promise to be light showers, much like we saw yesterday across parts of the Midwest. Otherwise, high pressure again dominates western Canada, dominates the western U.S., and outside of that, we're really not seeing much precipitation. So the precipitation over the next couple of days will really be focused in the Midwest here, and it's pretty light. In the blues, we're talking about at most a half an inch worth of rain from Chicago and Milwaukee back there towards Iowa City, Iowa, Kirksville, Missouri, Kansas City. Those are the areas here that could see some rainfall on Thursday and into Friday. Otherwise, the rest of us looking pretty dry going through the rest of the week. And the snowfall kind of lagging here behind. We're really not seeing much here in the way of snowfall, and obviously we won't be because the colder air bottled up to the north, and a lot of the precipitation, if it does fall, will be in the form of liquid, and that would be rainfall as we go through the end of this week. Going into the upcoming weekend, the last weekend in October, this is Saturday, October 26th, and Sunday, October 27th. Interesting thing to note here, we got a strong trough across eastern Canada and the northeast United States. Big ridge, seeing that spike all the way up there into Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Canada there, and then a very potent trough starting to work into the northeast Pacific and also into the Gulf of Alaska. And this is going to be the main player as we go into next week. But before we get there, we're going to see more record-breaking temperatures again across the central U.S. Temperatures, again, 10, 20, 30 degrees above the norm this weekend, and it's going to come with a lot of dry weather. Triple area of high pressure here, and that's going to promise a lot of sunshine as we go into the weekend for the central U.S., but also seeing that trough coming in across portions of the Pacific Northwest. So places like Seattle, Portland, even down into Northern California could start to see some rainfall, some moderate rainfall, especially in the end of the weekend on Sunday, and that could add up there. Into Seattle and Portland, we could be talking about 1 to 3 inches worth of rainfall for this weekend, and then dry across the majority of the rest of the United States and southern Canada. And that could also bring some pretty heavier snows across British Columbia, Canada there, the Vancouver region, for example, especially in the higher elevations, could be seeing 3 to 4 feet of snow as we go through this weekend. Otherwise, outside of that, really not seeing much snow, maybe a few inches over here with that other trough in eastern Canada. That would be across central and northern Quebec. And looking at this here, this is a big problem. Let's look at the precipitation here from now, present time, all the way through Monday, October 28th, virtually almost through the rest of this month. And we're really not seeing a lot of rainfall across southern Canada or the United States. And we're really not seeing any snowfall that of note across the United States either. So the drought is likely to continue to expand and intensify across the lower 48 here, unfortunately, as we round out the month of October. And that's certainly not good news and what we want to see at all. And looking at the snowfall and ice cover here across the northern hemisphere, while we have a drought across the lower 48 in the United States, as we know, we are actually starting to lay down some decent snows across portions of Siberia, across the Arctic Circle here, across portions of Alaska, northwest Canada. It's going to work. We're laying out that foundation for as when we get to winter, a lot of those cold snaps can come down from the northwest and give us in the lower 48 a better winter this winter. So that is something to keep an eye on as we get closer towards like November and December and stuff like that. We will keep you updated. Heading into next week, this is next work week, Monday, October 28th through the opening stage of November on Friday, November 1st. Big pattern change in the offing. We got a very big ridge of high pressure across the east, very big trough. That's the trough that's coming into the Pacific Northwest this weekend. That'll dig all the way down to the Four Corners region and into the Central Rockies by early next week. And a battleground is going to be setting up with our temperatures. We're going to be seeing much cooler temperatures across western Canada, more so into the western U.S., and very much above average here. You're going to feel it across the Mississippi Valley in particular as we go into next work week, and it's going to come with a lot of fanfare. We're going to have a new storm system with that trough developing, ejecting across the Midwest, and that could bring us a lot more rainfall. And we just showed you the drought monitor. We definitely need it. So let's look at 3 weather models. This is the European weather model for Halloween, and you see there's a stronger low up there in Quebec. Trailing cold front could bring some showers and storms along that from the Ohio Valley down into the mid-south. Some more snowfall here in the Pacific Northwest. GFS model still bringing snowfall to the Pacific Northwest. A little bit drier of an output and further north of an output with the low pressure system here. Really displaced up in northeastern Canada, so it really doesn't bring a lot of moisture in the Midwest. That would be worst case scenario for our drought as we go into Halloween. And then as we go looking at the Canadian guidance, the GEM model actually shows a little bit further south of a storm track near Lake Superior and the upper peninsula of Michigan. Trailing cold front, showers and storms. Severe weather would be a concern on this model as colder air rushes in, and with that warm air, the clash of the air masses. We'll keep an eye on that. But more importantly, for your Halloween Halloween looks pretty active across the middle of the country. We look at all of the outputs and put them all into one. This is what we call an ensemble, and you definitely see the Mississippi Valley is the favored area for active weather for Halloween. So if you have any trick-or-treaters out there, make sure that you're watching the weather forecast across the Mississippi Valley, especially from the Great Lakes all the way down towards Texas as we go into that Halloween time frame. We'll keep you updated on that. Turning over to the tropics, it's been a while, right, since we've seen nothing happening in the Atlantic Ocean. Well, we have nothing happening at least over the next 7 days. And really going through the rest of October, finally across the Atlantic Ocean. But I promise you, the tropical weather season is not over. We still have a little bit to go here into November, and even you can see some named storms into December as well. And here's the GOES satellite imagery across the Atlantic Basin, and you can see the remnants of Tropical Storm Oscar, now a post-tropical cyclone here just near Bermuda. And you see a lot of the waves coming off of Africa and moving into the main development region is really far south, almost to South America. So we don't really have anything to work with through the rest of October for the most part, and that's some good news. But the water temperatures, the ocean temperatures are very warm here in the Caribbean, and when you still see those warmer waters as we go into early November, the Climate Prediction Center, the experts over there are watching that because there are likelihood that we could be seeing tropical systems that first and even second week in November, going all the way through November 12th across the central and the western Caribbean and parts of also the northwestern Atlantic as well. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on this as we go into early November, but for now, tropical weather is very quiet. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Hit the post notification bell so you do have those notifications when my videos and live streams are posted. Make sure to like the video down below by giving it a thumbs up, and of course leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to all of those after my video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday out there.